Thank you, and welcome everybody. It's great to be here as part of this spectacular event. So the title of this presentation is Evolution or Extinction, How Marketing Can Thrive in the AI Era. There's also a similar article by that name in the magazine that you'll see, so it repeats some of the themes. But being immersed in the AI world as I am, I have I think a pretty good perspective on just how rapidly things are going to start to change, and how companies that adopt and companies that don't adopt, or at least start to adopt these practices, how their futures may differ based on this fairly substantial impact. Just to kick it off, I wanted to play a little clip from an ad that was done by Audi, which will riff on our theme. It was actually about AI in cars, but let me go ahead and get this running.
Felt like the king of the world. Could walk out the door and I terrified people. Makes you feel alive. You think things are always going to stay the same, and then one day, boom.
You think things are always going to stay the same, but one day, boom. And we really see it as a pretty appropriate analogy, because if you think back to the last couple of decades, this whole business has been enabled in part by technology disruptions, and they keep coming one at a time like asteroids from space. And in every case, the companies that have been able to successfully adapt to these new technologies have done well. Obviously, the rise of the internet was one of those. Sometimes these disruptions are big, sometimes they're small. The rise of social media was another one. If you think about how your businesses have changed from the early days of the internet to now, those of you that mastered social media marketing are the ones that are most successful versus people that didn't. We have big data over on this asteroid here. Big data has not fulfilled the promise that it originally said it would, mainly because as companies and enterprises, whether in gaming or affiliates or any other type of industry, has realized it's not who has the most data that wins. It's the people that have the most ability to understand and build models and derive insights and decisions from that data that, in fact, will win. And if you think about all those technological disruptions and others like programmatic advertising, I feel we're getting to the point where we've squeezed pretty much a lot of the juice out of them. You can continue to optimize, your ads using existing technologies and your landing pages, but the ability to really drive incremental, to drive quantum and step function gains from those technologies has been played out. Unfortunately, along comes AI. So AI will be, we think, the biggest disruptive force for this industry, and in fact every industry that we've seen over the last decades. The impact of this will be much greater than in the internet. And the purpose of this presentation is to talk a little bit about what is AI, what are the forms of AI, how does it manifest, what can you do, what are the decisions you need to think about in regards to using AI in your business, and then to talk about a few of the ways that people are using AI right now today to optimize their marketing and optimize their customer engagement in a way to bring more customers in more effectively for their affiliate businesses. Accenture recently came out with a report. It's worth downloading. It talks about significant new technologies that are going to impact our landscape in 2017. And one of the phrases from that is AI is the new UI. And where they're going with this is to say that really every touch point that you have with your user, every time you're interacting with them, whether that's via email or on website or a landing page or a campaign or social or wherever, that AI will have the ability and be able to intermediate and make that a better interaction, whatever better means in the context of the interaction. And they went on to say, as far as that AI will be the key point of distinction between businesses and competitors. Now, we work also in the retail space, and we're starting to see this impact happen right now. There's companies like ourselves and others, are helping retailers drive new ways of engagement and conversion, and some are doing it and some are not doing it. But in the very tumultuous world of retail, where there's only so many customers, we're starting to see real gains from those that adopt. And this business is no different. There is only so much raw fuel audience for us to gather and sell into the gaming services. So those of you that are able to take these new techniques and employ them will be able to gain market share over your competitors. And Accenture even went as far to say that AI isn't really about how you do things, it's going to become who you are. So that's a pretty broad and impactful statement. So let's look at what is AI. How do we define AI? You hear a lot of stuff about AI and machine learning and all sorts of stuff. And there's a number of different definitions floating around, but Accenture's definition really brings it into three things. First of all, it's machine systems which replicate human intelligence or human intelligence processes. And there's really three key things that a good AI system will do. One is that it learns. It learns about the world around it, the audience, I think in this case, right? Who are these people? What are their attributes? What are their likes? What are their interests? It reasons. So it takes that information and uses it to make decisions. And then finally, it learns from those decisions. And being a machine, it's able to do so far more effectively than humans can over time. It can do it faster. It can do it for 24 hours. It can learn more effectively. It doesn't require a salary. Right, so if there are AI systems that can achieve your marketing goals, then over time they will be able to beat human performance in a way that is quite significant. So we've seen a lot of big AI companies. In fact, Watson is here. It's very impressive to see Watson here. I urge you to visit the Watson booth and check out what they're doing in the area of marketing. Not the lowest cost solution, but definitely a very effective one. Watson decided to show off the power of their AI by beating Ken Jennings at Jeopardy. So they played that game, and in order to sort of one-up them, Google decided to through its AlphaGo project, to beat the world's master at Go, which is one of the most difficult games, which they did 4 games out of 5. At Sentient, our focus has been on what we think is an even more difficult game, which is helping women and men to shop for shoes and other fashion. But in all seriousness, all of these systems use different types of AI to make decisions. So let's talk about the different types of AI, because I think it's important. The first and most important thing, and if I had any message to leave you with today, it is learn about this now, right? It's a big step. There's much to learn, but there's also a lot of noise and confusion in the air. And I think it's important to sort of have some basics. So deep learning is what you hear about the most. And deep learning is a type of AI that is based on essentially the architecture of the human brain, right? There's a notion of neurons, and it's really great for doing things like, takes inputs and it'll tell you the output. It classifies, and it uses a technique called back propagation to essentially learn from a set of information. So for example, if you knew that you have all these users, they've come in and they sign up in different ways or don't sign up to affiliate programs, you would be able to take that data, ultimately train a neural network on it, and then when someone came into one of your campaigns, you would be able to then predict the likely outcome and know, for example, what is the right message to show this particular user at this particular time. So deep learning is really what you see from about 90 to 95% of AI companies, also known as neural networks. Very effective, really good at perceiving stuff, good at image analysis, good at natural language recognition, not so good for other types of problems. Evolutionary computation is a branch of AI that's based around Darwinian natural selection. So in this case, rather than mirroring the human brain process, this AI mirrors the evolutionary process of natural selection, and this happens to be ideal for optimization problems. So I'll show you a product later, one of ours, in which we use this kind of approach to optimize landing page conversions. But we also use this same technology to run a hedge fund in our business, the world's only AI-powered hedge fund. Combine the two of those and you have the ability to evolve neural networks with neuroevolution. And most recently, we're seeing the rise of the use of Bayesian methods. So this is a form of statistics which is really good at taking incomplete data and making predictions based on pretty fragmentary data. Now, there are other types of AI like symbolic systems and expert systems, and we continue to innovate in the area, us and other companies, of expanding the algorithm. So, that's a kind of quick and dirty introduction to some of the forms of AI, but each one has its own application in terms of how it's used. As a company, we happen to run on very large systems. So our focus is on massively scaled AI. We have built a network of compute at 4,000 sites around the world that has 2 million CPUs and 5,000 GPUs, and it can be used to solve very difficult problems. And our model for AI construction is something we call the OODA loop. And so the OODA loop, this is very close to the Accenture definition. The OODA loop was created by Air Force combat pilots. The question was, what makes one pilot better than another pilot in air combat? Right? They were trained by the same guy. They're trained on the same equipment. They're the same sort of basic body shape and type and intellectual capacity. And it turns out that it has to do with how well they manage this loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. So first a pilot looks around him, and then he understands where he is in reference to other objects on the screen. And then he makes a decision, turn, fire, whatever it is. And then he acts on that decision, or she, and then observes the results of the decision. And so what they found out is it's less important to make the right decision than it is to iterate through this loop as fast as possible. And at the core, this is what makes AI stronger than human performance, is its ability to make decisions and super rapidly learn and optimize from them. So as affiliate marketers, you have many decisions to make every day. Where should I advertise? What creative should I use? If you're running the land, which product should I promote? In what order should I present that creative? How much should I spend on that ad? Your business is made up of decisions, and the quality of those decisions impacts your bottom line. And AI is fortunately able to really enhance that. Now, you have many choices as how you might want to engage with AI. You could build your own AI systems. You could license platforms and build up from pre-established platforms, or you can work with products that imbue various capabilities with the power of AI. We certainly recommend people go the latter route for this type of business. Trying to assemble an AI team is very expensive. Machine learning scientists command huge wages, $500,000 in the US for a sort of starting level PhD machine learning scientist. So it's a pretty expensive proposition if you want to try to build your own AI of a robust way. But fortunately, there are now products out there that are solving many stages of this loop. So one of the first areas is in advertising, right? So there are a number of companies, not ours, that are doing very interesting work in AI in advertising, and they're doing it in different ways. Some companies are using AI to help manage the production of multiple creatives and just make that easier, which saves a lot of time and money just in the creative you're doing. Some are focusing on optimizing the bid process for real-time bidding and advertising. Some are using AI to help you do better targeting and segmentation of your audience. So if you're interested in this sort of stuff, I would look at companies like Adgorithms is one, like algorithms, but with ad. There's a company called Lattice Engines that's doing very interesting work in AI. There's a company called Kenshu that does a lot of work in AI that's quite profound, and quite a few more. So obviously, given the size of the advertising market, you might be surprised by the tools that are now available that you could use to optimize your ad buy that go well beyond the capabilities of whatever you're using for your current programmatic placements. Engagement is another side of things. So, this may apply in some contexts, it may not apply for all of you, but how do you, if you're building the landing pages, how do you then engage with your customers and draw them into the purchase interaction? Right? It a lot depends on what you're selling them or what type of services you're offering them as an affiliate. We've all heard of chatbots. Chatbots are one manifestation of AI. They're kind of getting there. They suffer a bit from what we call the uncanny valley. A chatbot is clearly not a human yet, but we think within a year or so that problem will be solved. So the quality of natural language processing and the ability of the machine to construct responses. So if you think about it, for people that use live chat, right now live chat is a better way to close your site visitors, but chatbots don't sleep, they don't require pay, and in a year or so they're going to get to the point where they're able to interact with your customers at least as well as the existing human people, and of course you can watch what they're doing and mirror those. Chatbots start out by mirroring human behavior, but at a certain point, as the AI learns what to say in what contexts, it's very possible that the humans in your call center, if you have those types of things, should listen and learn from the AI. Another area where AI is making strong gains right now is AI for optimization. This is one of our products, so apologies for the slightly shameless plug. But what we've seen is that, as I mentioned, this approach to evolution, using evolutionary AI, evolutionary computation is an excellent way to do optimizations. And we were using this on our hedge fund to essentially breed stock traders, virtual trading desks that execute against very long sets of rules to make stock purchase decisions. And we thought, what would be another good way to use this? And it would be to optimize the designs of landing pages to increase conversion and response. So right now, people tend to do A/B testing. Right, many of you may be doing that. If you're running landing pages, try this button, try this headline, try this image, try this layout. But the challenge with A/B testing is that it's very slow, it's very manual. Most A/B tests don't generate results, and it's a slog. It's an important part of the business process. So using evolution, it changes the game in terms of optimization. And rather than test one thing at a time, you can test 20 different changes at once, and the AI will solve for what is the best design to achieve the desired result, which might be revenue or conversion rate. So in this particular example, this is an affiliate example. So this is an educational affiliate, a company called Above Media. They sell names to educational institutions, and they publish content about how to become a doctor or a nurse or a radiologist or different types of professions. And their response rate was decent. It was around a 5.61% response rate on this page. And so they designated 45 different things to try, different variations of 9 different parts of this page, most of which were in this widget here, right? So as you see the animation, this shows how no one user would see this, but this essentially illustrates how evolution breeds the site design over time. Let's go back. See if we can get that to run. Yep. Can we get the video to run? Let's see. It's not letting the video. Okay. Let's try it. Try it the hard-coded way. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not running on that screen. So over here you see it was changing and cycling through these things. So what these guys did, there were 380,000 possible combinations of that page. Right? That's a number of combinations that no human is ever going to test. We wouldn't have time. We'd all be long gone to do that sort of thing. So using AI, they found a design that was 45% better with just 110 tests in 8 weeks. So the power of AI is to take these human ideas. It's not always about replacing humans, right? A lot of times it's about augmenting humans and allowing humans to focus on the decisions that matter most, like what things might enhance the performance of my particular website. And so in this particular case, we tested this. We found actually 5 designs that were quite good. They were a little skeptical about the statistics, so they ran A/B tests against the new designs. They all checked out, and they deployed the winning design, and now they're testing other things. So in particular, if you think about the business of, driving traffic to landing pages, we focus a lot on the driving traffic part and the optimization of that buy. But optimizing the landing page is an equally valid or even a better way to increase overall performance. So whether it's your partners or yourself, depending on who is managing that, there's a lot of money to be made from this kind of practice. So AI in advertising, AI for engagement, AI for optimization, really just a few of the ways we're scratching the surface here about what can be done. Just to summarize on the testing thing, you can test more, you test faster. It fully automates the testing because AI is good at eliminating manual type of work. It's a full funnel testing system. It adapts to the audience, so if your ad campaigns change, the site or the landing page will change. And basically it's just about getting to more results faster. And the range of results we've seen is anywhere from 10% up to 400%. A lot depends on what you start with. So very powerful results, none that took more than 2 months to effect. So the AI asteroid is coming, it's upon us. And the question is really, do we want to evolve and adapt and fly and let our business soar? Or do we want to, lay our heads down in the sand and go the way of the dinosaurs? I hope you'll join with me and go on that flight. I'd love to talk to you about any sort of AI stuff or take any questions now about how you might be using AI. Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have any questions for John from the audience? Okay. I have one. You mentioned about jobs. I mean, obviously in the long run, this basically showed all the tasks that affiliate has to do. I mean, once everything does get kind of, you bring machine learning into that process, it allows all those tasks to be done by machine learning, by those processes. I mean, is it that will have an effect in jobs in the long run, won't it? In terms of positions in affiliate marketing companies and other companies that are using AI.
Yeah.
Is it going to make a lot of people? Is it going to make a lot of people redundant, basically?
I think it will make some types of jobs redundant, right? It is a sensitive topic in the AI industry. No one likes to see. On one hand, no one wants to be seen as a job killer. On the other hand, businesses are always striving for greater efficiency and profitability, and so they have a vested interest in that. I guess our experience and historical precedent suggests that when these kind of technology disruptions come, it does eliminate some jobs, but it creates other types. So that doesn't mean there's not some disruption, right? The way we see this particular product that I just showed you is that it allows you to concentrate on the high value creative side of things, but it does eliminate a lot of the needs for sort of website production, that kind of labor. Do we think employment will go down over the next years? No, but we do think jobs will shift and change in ways that, as if someone, my daughter's going to college, my younger daughter, and I had a long talk with her about what jobs do we think are AI safe, because it is an important topic, and as you plan for the future, I think the most important thing for each and every one of us is get ahead of it, learn how to use this stuff. The humans aren't going away. What'll be important is that we learn how to work with AI and use it to enhance our business.
We have one with from Jake there.
Hi, John. It's regarding the use of AI in online gaming industry, in the online gaming sector. Sorry, it's a bit of a weird sound. It doesn't seem to be very widespread, the use of AI in this industry. Is that because essentially, especially for affiliate sites, it's about bonusing and offers, which are quite simple to understand and simple concepts? I guess what I'm trying to get at is, is this really the best industry for AI in terms of the offer that whether it's affiliates or operators offer to customers, as opposed to maybe other mainstream areas?
I think we try not to discriminate on the basis of industries. I think what we see as very powerful about affiliate industries is that it's essentially a pure profit model, and so any efficiencies you gain in terms of audience acquisition, creating buyers, will go straight into your pocket, as opposed to, say, e-commerce, where if we elevate conversion by 20%, they're still only making 10% or something on that. So affiliate models, software download, there's in terms of this marketing use of AI. But as a company, our belief is that, and I know it sounds a little sort of grandiose, but that every AI every problem could be considered an AI problem, and every business can benefit from this. So we saw an interesting opportunity. We're doing really good work at the affiliate level right now, right? Educational affiliates, financial affiliates. We haven't done the gaming space yet, but we're about to start doing that. So I think, the big question is, what are their products? What size of scale of operation do you have? How much, is that enough signal to feed the AI? And if so, then there's a lot of benefit to be gained.
Do we have just one behind there?
Hi. If you want to kind of gen up on it a bit more, what entry point would you suggest is a good place to start? Because obviously it rapidly scales in.
Yeah. We would certainly direct you to the Sentient.ai website, but I think there's a book called The Master Algorithm, which is by a guy named Pedro Domingos, and it's a very good primer that is accessible to folks like myself. I'm not a technical guy, and but also has enough technical depth that it has some meaning. And it talks about the various forms of AI. I think that's one use case. And then there's a variety of conferences that are coming up that are very focused on business uses of AI, and I think that's the place where you'll see products like ours. I mean, my sense is, though, the AI is going to come to you, right? Watson's here now, right? They're the first AI exhibitor at this particular show, but I suspect that in the next year, you're going to see a lot more people bring forward tools, and ultimately, that's what's going to hasten the pace of adoption. It's not you all going out to write AI. I think it's important to know what you're buying. It's really find me the tools that are optimized for my business, whatever I'm doing, affiliate marketing, and they're starting to come up.
Okay, do we have any more for the audience? I have one regarding privacy. Obviously, if you look especially on the operator side, a lot of marketing and personalization is based upon the use of data, deep use of data, and gaining those insights into how people behave and how they react and how you can kind of respond to those behaviors before they happen. I mean, AI, obviously, you've just said you can just run these processes and it's digging. I mean, are there any privacy implications here, especially with all the regulations? Look at the general data protection regulation coming through, which is going to have implications in the UK for gambling sites and stuff as well.
Yeah, I've been putting in the scare to some of my guys about GDPR. It's going to be exciting times. The answer might surprise you, and I can't speak for all AI companies, but the systems that we use have absolutely no knowledge of who you are, right? Our e-commerce system that we sell to people like Skechers and Sunglass Hut is able to do personalization by watching how you behave, but not knowing who you are. And so it's not that we can't incorporate that information, but it's no longer necessary. So in a way, well-written AI, if you're able to look at the patterns of people's behavior and build models that can then predict decisions or actions they might take or what you should put in front of them, that with AI it allows you to do so in a way that is much less at risk of privacy violations than a lot of the current cohort-based systems and systems that rely on personal information.
All right, do we have any more from the audience? We have one more over there. I think we have time for how many more questions? Time for one more.
So you mentioned that you can look at people's behaviour and present different things to them on a website. Say, what indicators would you actually find from most of the people that are hitting affiliate websites are anonymous users that will come to the site once? What is it that you could actually use to kind of predict what they might be interested in?
So the next version of the conversion product will allow you to designate up to hundreds of different information sources. So it's kind of anything, right? But you can learn a lot, time of day of week, device, browser, previous registration info, what ad they clicked on, what was the targeting groups associated with the ad they happened to click on. So really any signal you can bring forward that's not personal, can be utilized. And as the system is actually developing a neural network, like we talked about, to match those characteristics to individual presentations to optimize response. So the system actually has no idea what any of those things mean. It just understands the relationships between them. But the signals are as many as you sort of have. A lot, I think, in affiliate has to do with the ad group and the characteristics around the ad buy, as well as things like time of day and probably geography and implied demography that can then be used to tune the offer.
Thank you. We've run out of time, unfortunately. have to move on to the next one. But John, thanks very much
Thank
for
you.
a fascinating presentation. Thank you.